The specials at Don's are terrific, and so are intercollegiate athletics, in particular Sun Belt Conference basketball, which we'll get into extensively momentarily. It's a pleasure to welcome to our show Karl Benson, the commissioner of the Sun Belt Conference. Great to have you with us, Karl.
Likewise, my pleasure.
Well, listen, it's a short trip to get you over here, and we love the fact that the Sun Belt Conference offices remain here in the New Orleans area, even after the University of New Orleans left the conference.
Well, and I think it's the heart of the conference right now. We relocated into the Dome, in the Superdome, so we are residents there, which has turned out fabulously. Our basketball tournament, is 3 weeks away here, and we really think that New Orleans is the right place for the Sun Belt.
Yeah, in fact, I'm very familiar with the space you have there. We have our Saints Hall of Fame Museum in the Dome as well, and you're right in the middle of everything. That's a great location to be in.
It is, and game days, there's a lot of activity, and we've got some nice signage down there. And when I took this job 2 years ago, I ran into a lot of people who were really surprised that the Sun Belt was headquartered in New Orleans. We were in an office building down on St. Charles and Poydras, and to kind of get out and especially get into an athletic venue, I think is really, really helpful for us.
Well, right now the Sun Belt Conference basketball season is winding down, heading toward conference tournaments. Let's take a look at the standings, in particular the top 4 teams. On each side, first of all on the men's side, Georgia State having an outstanding year. Western Kentucky always there. John Brady's Arkansas State team, and Louisiana Lafayette having good seasons as well. So bunched up in particular with the 2nd through 4th place teams right now. On the women's side, Arkansas State in great shape. Western Kentucky, Little Rock, and Texas State also doing well. And Karl, you've got some balance right now, and I guess that's what you're really looking to see.
You always want to have maybe that one signature team, but if you had to trade that for a balanced league, I think you'd always want to go with a balanced league. And come tournament time, teams have a chance to kind of rise a little bit and get into the mix. We are changing our format this year, and that only 8 out of the 10 teams are going to advance here to New Orleans and Lakefront Arena. So there's a lot to play for here these last few games.
Well, you mentioned Lakefront Arena in New Orleans, and of course the Sun Belt Conference tournament being held here in New Orleans, not just this year, but you've signed a 3-year deal to hold the tournament here. Talk about that, why you've done it, and what people can expect.
Well, again, we all know, how great a destination New Orleans is, and I know that our fans throughout the conference are really excited about coming back to New Orleans for the tournament. You look at the geography of the Sun Belt right now, and it literally is in the heart of the Sun Belt footprint. We have schools in Texas, schools in Georgia. So New Orleans, we think, is really the right spot and the best spot for the Sun Belt tournament.
On the men's side, you got 2 teams in last year, and that's really what you're looking for, is the multiplicity. It's something that this conference had for many years ago, but not most recently. So that was great to see 2 teams in, because Middle Tennessee got beat in the conference tournament and had a good enough RPI to get there. Talk about this year and the ability to get more than 1 team in.
Well, it's maybe a little tougher this year. We don't. Middle Tennessee had the good RPI last year and got in as that at-large. Right now, it doesn't look like we have a second team that really has that outstanding of an RPI. So what we're focusing on now, I think, is real critical, is what type of seed does that team get, and how critical is it for us to advance, and we talked this off air, how important is it to advance the best team into the NCAA tournament with a good seed to give them a chance to win a game or perhaps 2. I've always said that a conference that can get a team into the Sweet 16 is in good company, because there's only 16 teams, and most often very few leagues are playing that second weekend of March.
On the women's side, I know most people might not be as familiar with what's happening there. Talk about your women's basketball right now.
Again, you look at the competitiveness and the growth of women's basketball in the Sun Belt. I think we're seeing some of the same results from good facilities, hiring good coaches, and that's the combination. Then you throw in some really good student athletes, and our women's teams are very, very competitive.
Well, you look at the other sports, football in particular, and really this particular sport has taken a huge rise, if you will, in terms of the way your teams have performed, the way they have become good football teams, been bowl eligible. In fact, you had 7 out of 8 bowl eligible last year. We know what's happened in the New Orleans Bowl the last few years. So obviously, this is a sport that's on the rise, and this is a signature sport.
It is, and we have to remember too that the Sun Belt is the youngest FBS, old Division 1A conference. Only been playing football for 12 years, and Our competitors, our peer conferences, whether it's Conference USA, Mid-American, the Mountain West, the New American, those four, along with the Sun Belt, we consider to be our peers. And this past year, we competed against those four in super fashion. And we sent 2 teams to bowl games, and both Arkansas State and the Raging Cajuns came home with victories for the Sun Belt.
We're in baseball season now, and clearly the Sun Belt has a rich history in baseball, and I think the Sun Belt has good facilities overall in baseball. That's been a big plus, and that's been a big emphasis in recent years, and you have a top 10 team in Louisiana Lafayette as well.
The Raging Cajuns, again, I think everyone expected them to come back. They were preseason top 25, and they've gotten off to a good start, and they've got great pitching and a great all-around program. Last year we had 4 Sun Belt teams go to the NCAA tournament, which again I think demonstrates the depth, but also the overall level. The other small ball sport in the spring, softball, is the same way, and the Raging Cajun women's softball program is a perennial top 20 type program, and so at spring sport is pretty successful for the Sun Belt.
As we take a look at ticketing for the upcoming Sun Belt Conference basketball tournament, it's affordable. The dates are there as well. You can go to sunbeltsports.org. This is a big event town. Tell us about what's going to happen with this tournament that will make people come, that will get them attracted to it, and perhaps come back as well.
Well, I think one thing, Lakefront Arena, and there's still some people who may believe that the arena post Katrina was damaged severely. Completely redone, remodeled, spectacular facility. Lots of parking, great access. We think that besides the basketball games, especially on Saturday, there's going to be a big outdoor festival, kind of our own little Mardi Gras, post-Mardi Gras event out at Lakefront. And we're catering to families, catering to kids, school kids throughout the community. And we think that it is affordable. You mentioned affordable, and we really want this to be a community success. Besides the universities and their fans, we really want New Orleans to adopt this as an event.
Go to sunbeltsports.org for more information. Karl, Benson, thank you so much for
Likewise,
the visit.
thank you.
Best of luck with the tournament and continued success to the Sun Belt Conference. When we return in just a moment, appropriate or inappropriate, political correctness, the NFL, all that and more in our Hot Seat segment as Sports NOLA TV continues from Don Seafood in Metairie, where the food's great, surf and turf, potatoes, oh my, the dressing. Use the seasoning and have some fun.